Fortnite Chapter 4 is coming, and it is coming next season. This will bring a brand new map and a story that will take us back in time. But why a new chapter so soon? How will we go from Chapter 3 to Chapter 4? And is there any proof of this even happening? The short answer is yes. Chapter 4 is coming next season, and there is so much information pointing to this happening right under our noses. Epic Games recently made a huge mistake and accidentally put text strings for a test version of a new Battle Royale Fortnite map onto the server. This map name was originally called Season 23. Test map do not use, and then was changed to Season 23 Test Asteria. Asteria being the code name for a brand new Fortnite map, and a name that is very important to understanding what Chapter 4 will look like. With the defeat of the Cube Queen in the Chapter 2 finale event, everyone thought that it was the end of the last reality. However, this is not the case. In the most recent Byte quests, one of the quest descriptions says Rise, the new warrior of the last reality. And this reveals that the Chrome, the Nothing, and the last reality are all linked together, and that the Fortnite Chapter 3 island is in huge trouble. The Nothing is hugely important and has been mentioned by characters in-game and even Epic Games Chief Creative Officer Donald Mustard for a long time. We first heard about the Nothing during the Black Hole event all the way at the end of Chapter 1, when numbers were spotted floating around in the black hole to put together a secret message. Once deciphered, the secret message says, "I was not alone. Others were outside the loop. This was not calculated. The Nothing is now inevitable." Although at the time this didn't make sense to anyone, it took over 2 years to hear more about the Nothing from Fortnite. Donald Mustard mentioned the Nothing in October 2021 when replying to one of his tweets saying everything changes, and he followed up by saying or nothing. Just 4 days later, he mentioned again the Nothing in a quote tweet of Fortnitemares, capitalizing the word nothing for the first time, saying only nothing will remain. The Nothing is always mentioned around the end of a Fortnite chapter and alludes to everything changing and a new chapter arriving. And right on time, the Nothing has started to be mentioned again, and it seems Fortnite are setting up for, yes, you've guessed it, Chapter 4. In part 1 of the Paradise's quests, after contacting the Paradigm, she says, "Stay safe and listen. There is no second chances here. The Nothing is..." And the message breaks off. She is warning us about the Nothing coming back yet again, causing the Fortnite island huge danger. After hearing this transmission from the Paradigm, Jones says, did she say nothing? Or the Nothing, like capital T, capital N. That's right, the Fortnite characters themselves know of the Nothing and know how serious it is. With the spreading of the Chrome on the Fortnite island heavily mimicking the spreading of the cubes on the Fortnite island at the end of the last chapter, it is vitally important to understand the last reality. With the defeat of the Cube Queen at the end of Chapter 2, everyone thought that that was the end of the last reality, but that is definitely not the case. The Byte character that's in the Fortnite Battle Pass this season is being used to undergo missions to become the new warrior of the last reality. Bytes is actually following orders directly from the Nothing, and through doing these missions has the ability to harness and use the Chrome for his own powers. This is fully backed up by the fact that the Byte's actual pickaxe, yep, the one that's made out of Chrome, is literally called the Nothing's Gift, meaning the Nothing have control and the power of the Chrome and are the ones behind it being on the island. After completing the most recent Bytes quest, the Nothings will say, "Always be vigilant. When we have need of you, you will be summoned." That means the Nothing is preparing for something huge and will be using the Bytes character on the island to aid them in their mission. But what about the Fortnite island itself? Why are we seeing a brand new chapter, a brand new map, so soon after the release of Chapter 3? Well, first of all, we need to go back to the code name that was accidentally added to the Fortnite servers. Fortnite sees seasons are internally named one after the other. So season 23 would technically be chapter 3, season 5, if it wasn't for the addition of the new Test Asteria map that was added into the files. The chapter 1 island was named Athena, the chapter 2 island was named Apollo, and the chapter 3 island that we're on at the moment was called Artemis. All of these using Greek god names that are vitally important to understanding what the chapter 4 island will be like. In Greek mythology, Apollo and Artemis are twins, meaning that chapter 2 and chapter 3 island are twins. This lines up with the actual Fortnite story, as they are literally on top of each other as we flip the island from chapter 2 to chapter 3. In Greek mythology, Asteria turned herself into an island, I'm not even joking, which is actually where the twins, both Apollo and Artemis, were born, which means, most importantly, that the Asteria island is older than both the chapter 2 and chapter 3 islands within Fortnite. At the beginning of this video, I very subtly mentioned the fact that we'd be going back in time. There are a few things to back this up. With the current Fortnite island heading towards the inevitable doom and the takeover of the Nothing and the Chrome, it may be that the only way we can survive is to actually go back in time before the creation of the chapter 2 and chapter 3 island, and most importantly back to a time when the Imagined Order was a lot newer and was no longer destroyed like they currently are on the Fortnite island, so we can learn even more about them and mean that their storyline is not over yet. The traveling back in time is also backed up by the fact that Geno, who actually dies at the end of the most recent Fortnite and Marvel comic book series and looks old like a grown-up adult in these comic books, actually has concept art for him that shows him as a younger, almost teenager, meaning if we need to understand and find out more about Geno, we'll be going back in time and getting Geno as a skin in Fortnite as a version of his younger self. But why are we getting a new map so soon? I love the chapter 3 map. I could arguably say it is my favorite Fortnite map. If you also think that the chapter 3 island is one of the best we've had, let me know by hitting that like button to see if you guys have also enjoyed the map. But if you compare it to other battle royale games out there, they're starting to release new maps more and more often. Fortnite now needs to start keeping up with the competition, and having more chapters, new maps, and more content more often keeps the game exciting. A number of cosmetics this season literally have hints that this is the end of chapter 3. The Herald outfit says that nothing is coming. The Edge pickaxe says the final cut awaits. The Fading Ember cloak says the last light you'll see. These are very similar to a lot of the cosmetics used at the end of a previous chapter in chapter 2, where it quoted the island coming to the end of its reality, time is running out, and even as obvious as just a second, we're almost at the end of the chapter. If you literally search up the meaning of the Herald, it is a sign that something big is about to happen, and what's much bigger than a literal new Fortnite chapter. With the Herald's music pack literally called Nothing is Inevitable, and a description saying press play and prepare for what happens next, I don't think at this point I can do much more to convince you that chapter 4 is coming next season. So what will happen in the finale of the chapter 3 final event? Only 4 major updates are planned in the in-game files for this season, and we've already had the first one of them. The next one's set to release on October the 18th, which will be the big Fortnitemares update. Make sure you subscribe to see all of that new as soon as it comes out, and thanks to leaks, we know that Epic are preparing for a huge live event during the 4th and final update of this season, and after that it will lead into the start of the next season update, aka chapter 4. Right now, the biggest hints as to what will happen during this live event, I believe, is tied to the 0 Point and the Imagined Order. We've talked before about how the Imagined Order have lost all of their power and are no longer on the island, but actually, without these guys, the island's in serious trouble, and it's all to do with the 0 Point not being controlled. Throughout all of these Fortnite chapters, we've been fighting against the Imagined Order, trying to keep us in the loop and maintain the balance of the 0 Point. In fact, on the very first day of the chapter 2 season, a skin literally called Zero was added into the item shop, and its description was everything and nothing. Made entirely of the 0 Point energy, it is a very careful balance of keeping everything in line. With the Imagined Order not around to keep everything in balance and protect the 0 Point, then nothing can literally take over the island and end Fortnite as we know it. Which means I believe the only way to stop this is to potentially rewrite history. Go back in time to the earlier days of the Imagined Order, potentially change the path of what the Imagined Order do, and stop all of these evils taking over the island and putting the power back into our hands to save the Fortnite island. Currently this season is set to end on December the 3rd, with potentially the return of the black hole and another long period of downtime. We could be jumping into Chapter 4 as soon as December the 5th this year. This already gets me so excited, and if you can't wait, hit that like button and let me know your thoughts on everything I've shared in the comments section. On screen here, I've 1v1'd every single Fortnite icon creator, a video it took months to film. Definitely go and check it out. It's an awesome video to watch, so don't miss it. Quickly go and click it. I'll see you over there.